This storm is really different than anything we've had this winter.
This morning, communities in the Sierra digging themselves out of days and days of snowfall.
And this morning, one of the main concerns remains the road closures. I-80, Highway 50, 88 as well, all affected by the snow. Some still closed. Amazing pictures being shared by everybody over the weekend. And friends are like, did you see that picture from Pollock Pines? Like, yeah. I'm Walt Gray. We are tracking the latest from this weekend's blizzard up in the Sierra.
I'm Briella. We saw feet and feet of snow. You just saw it in that video. Our Devin Truby joining us live from Truckee, where she's been since Thursday.
Devin, you've seen a whole lot coming down your way. Things finally calming down this morning. We hope for you anyway.
They have, Walt, and about 30 seconds ago, it wasn't even snowing, which is the first time in 3 days that I would have joined you without snow. But now we just have these very light, beautiful flurries that I think people appreciate more for that winter wonderland. But I want you to take a look at the progression of this storm that we were able to capture for you over the entire weekend through photos. Now, this storm taking hold of the town of Truckee this weekend. Just look at this progression of accumulation on the patio furniture. Day 1, the first pick, that's going to be Friday. Day 2, Saturday. And then day 3, Sunday, and using a second story window for reference, we say it's about 6 feet of snow, which falls in line with meteorologist Rob Karlmark's thoughts about anywhere from 5 to 7 feet of snow in most areas. The town of Truckee knows people are excited to come up here and enjoy all this fresh snow, but Robert Womack with the town says it takes about 10 days for them to fully clean up, so they're only going to maybe have today to start preparing themselves before the next storm system moves in, all while dealing with a rush of people. So here's what the town wants you to know if you plan to head up the hill.
People are going to come. That's okay. If they come realizing they need to be prepared, because we're looking at another storm early next week.
And we also wanted to talk about just how resilient the town of Truckee is. The snowplow crews working 24/7, a team of 25 to keep all the roads clear in 20 and 12-hour shifts. And then the tow truck drivers as well, also working 24/7 and 12-hour shifts to take nearly 100 cars off Interstate 80, Bria.
Right. Devin, I was just supposed to meet somebody for a meeting this morning who lives in Pollock Pines, and she's like, there's no way that we're going to be able to get out. I'm sure Truckee has it worse. So what's the snow removal process like before this next storm comes in?
Well, Bria, we saved the best for last. We want to show you what the moving process is going to be like, because they have just been stacking snow in the town of Truckee. This is an average pile in any parking lot. So the town tells us for snow removal, they're actually going to have to start picking up snow in trucks and moving it out of downtown and letting it melt somewhere else eventually. We checked in yesterday. They said right now the town has enough space for snow removal, so everything is going well on their end, Bria.
Okay, so that's some good news. Just got to get through this before we get to the next one. Devin, thank you for being here this morning. So meteorologist Rob Karlmark joining us now here at the desk.
So, Rob, the worst of the snow has passed. We hope anyway for the folks who live up there. But you still have some things people need to be concerned about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in one spot in the western slope, which I'll talk about, it's still snowing, and we've got more. And by the way, 5 feet is a really important benchmark, 5 to 6 feet, because that's usually the height of your car. So there are some situations where there are cars that are literally buried,
right,
that they don't know. So plows are going to hopefully not find out. People that live in there, they know, they stake out their vehicles. So everybody knows what's going on, but it's just going to be a process. And big thanks to Devin and our photographer Xavier for being up there for days and days and days covering the storm. That's a tough assignment, but one that helps people understand what's going on. Okay, so let's get right into it. We've got continued snow, and you know what? There is such thing as too much snow. And that's roughly the situation that one spot of the Sierra is going to be dealing with, because they need a break to dig out, and they're getting kind of a break. But as Devin showed, it is starting to produce some flurries at the moment. But at least it's not for everybody. So the storm continues, but for one spot of the Sierra, we are going to get some more, a foot or more over the next couple of days. But the break is really going to happen for sure in the valley spots. Clouds today, maybe some sprinkles, but it's not going to be this on-off rain and then some clearing and then rain comes back. So if you've got things going on, you could be at least a little bit more settled in your plans, that you're not looking at additional heavy rain or anything like that over the next couple of days. It is cold out there. Temperatures in the 40s down low and the 20s up high. Some issues with visibility where there is some light snow happening at the moment, but nothing regarding fog so far. Now, what we've got is some moisture pushing through, but the guts, the dynamics of the storm, where there's a big area of low pressure that forces a lot of lift, and that's really how you get rain and snow, that's starting to fall apart pretty much for the most part. What you really need to get lift at this point is mountains, and that's why this one slice continues to see snow today and tomorrow. It doesn't spill over in a major way to Truckee, South Lake Tahoe, the Tahoe Basin. They're going to be getting an opportunity to dig out, but on that western slope down to about 5,000 feet, even 4,000 feet at times, additional snow over the next couple of days. You're going to see some 50s later on this afternoon, so 40s to the 50s, not a big range of temperatures, a cold and cloudy day, but at least dry in the valley.
Okay, Rob, let's play off of what you were just talking about. Check this out. This blizzard closing many of the Lake Tahoe ski areas over the weekend and really resorts all across the state. This is what Palisades Tahoe looked like. Although a lot of snow is generally great for these resorts, with all the wind and feet of snow, it is way too dangerous for skiing in these conditions, at least for today and maybe, as we heard, the next couple of days. So from overturned semi-trucks to even tornadoes, all through the weekend, we did see just how much trouble the storm did cause for people in and around the high country.
So let's take a look here. A tractor pulled this SUV from a snowdrift near Echo Summit yesterday. Thankfully, no one was hurt. But this is a reminder to be patient, drive safely, and pay attention to road conditions. Crews had to assist this semi-truck driver who was stuck on a Forest Service road during the storm. Forest Service roads are not a way around the closures.
As he found out.
Yes.
Well, what was he doing there? In the meantime, check out these whiteout conditions video from CHP Truckee. They want to remind all of us, do not drive for any reason if you live in a place where it looks like this outside. And the valley, of course, very active. A tornado. This is outside of Fresno. This is Madera County, and it's happened Friday. The National Weather Service has confirmed that there were 2 tornadoes over the weekend. In the meantime, communities in Tuolumne County are facing one of the effects of the blizzard after nearby Yosemite National Park had to close for the weekend. The town of Groveland, usually busy on the weekends, people driving through Highway 120 headed on up to Yosemite. But things were much quieter while neighbors stocked up at the local grocery stores. Local shop owners say tourists stayed away because of hazardous conditions.
It impacts reservations for lodging, restaurants, the whole tourism industry that relies on the Yosemite tourist.
And this morning, Yosemite has partially reopened. Further openings are expected throughout the course of today.
Well, when the snow does stop falling, there will still be hundreds of stranded trucks and cars. Plow and towing crews have the undesirable task of pulling all of those out of the snow. So we did talk with the tow truck driver, Mike Ram, who's been busy pulling cars out all weekend long. And he says majority of the calls are spinouts for people who are going too fast. The other common issue, people in four-wheel drive vehicles, but they're on city tires.
They're usually happy that we're there to basically get them out of it. They're not too happy when they get the bill.
Well, Ram and his fellow drivers say sometimes it takes 2 tow trucks to right semis that were tipped on their side. So road closures also a very big concern this morning. Caltrans struggling to keep its equipment on the road and running. The agency says only 6 out of its 20 snow blowers, like the one you're looking at here, are working. But Caltrans is working to get more of those machines back online. So Jordan Tolbert joining us now.
So Jordan, clearing the roads takes a lot of work and a lot of equipment that's not being burned to the ground like the snow blowers. They're just working 24/7.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen images from CHP, we've seen images from South Lake Tahoe, Truckee, all these cities and agencies trying to update us about their efforts.
Right.
Now, crews have been working really hard on local roads, but on I-80, like you said, 6 out of 20 of those snowblowers working with Caltrans from Auburn to the Nevada state line. They also said 2 out of 10 of their snowblowers are working at their hub in Kingville, and they put that out on X yesterday at around 1 p.m. or so. So they are working as hard as they can to get that road back open once again. All right, well, let's take a look at our traffic conditions this morning. We're starting with a live look in Placerville here. Highway 50 looking clear this morning, but there are some places that we're seeing chain controls. Once you get a little bit further up, once you get toward Kybers, is where we see those chain controls in effect. Now, this is I-80 at 267 in Truckee. I've been watching as crews have been going up and down the roadways, spreading things out, trying to, make the snow kind of dissipate on the roads, pushing that snow to the side. So lots of different machines out there this morning trying to get that road back open. At present moment, though, it is still closed Colfax to the Nevada state line, a very large stretch of roadway. Highway 50, though, Kybers to Myers, that's where we're seeing those chain controls this morning. Through the valley spots, things are relatively quiet. Whether you're driving on Highway 50, maybe between Folsom, Rancho Cordova, in toward downtown Sacramento, a little bit of slow-moving traffic as you make your way on westbound Highway 50, as you make your way in toward downtown Sacramento. Now, through the Vacaville area, westbound 80 and Cherry Glen Road, we do have a crash that is causing some delays in those westbound lanes. So if you're headed toward the Bay Area, you might pass through that area. Drive times today, El Dorado Hills to downtown, just 22 minutes today on Highway 50 going westbound. Roseville to downtown, about 15 minutes on I-80 West. And finally, Natomas to downtown, about 10 minutes on I-5 South.
Jordan, thank you. A reminder here as we continue to track the storm, the ABC 10 app is the best way for you to stay informed on hourly as well as daily forecasts. You can upload any photos or videos that you find to us, and you might actually see them on air. This is a free app to download wherever you get your apps. Just don't forget to turn on your notifications.